All right, week 1 recap of the LeAthal WarriorFace Podcast. I'm your host, Stephen Luter, and the LeAthal, as Eddie puts it. He's on the line with me. I'll put a little screenshot here of Eddie. We'll see what funny picture we can find to put on the camera. But yeah, Eddie's joining me here.
There are many.
There are many, yes. He's joining me here via the Subway Fresh Take hotline.
I'll have to preface this. I forgot my notes. So
Oh, no.
Just going to wing it. So,
Hey, am I on speakerphone?
no, you're not.
Oh, okay, because I was going to say, if you put me on speakerphone, you could see your phone where you sent me the notes on the text message.
Well, that's true. But I mean, I got my iPad in front of me, so
Okay.
I can just. I've got what I was looking at. I'm gonna just try to remember what I wrote down. So
Yeah,
I have
classic.
a pretty good memory.
Classic flub up there.
Yeah.
All right,
Sometimes it might be better that I don't have notes.
that's true. And sometimes I work better without notes as well. All right, so
Flubbing up.
a couple of things I wanted to talk about before we get into the week 1 matchups. Let's talk about Overreaction Monday.
Overreaction Monday.
To the Titans, a little bit of overreaction there.
Dude, what the hell was that?
I think I'm just gonna chalk that up as like a week 0 didn't even happen. You know,
I mean, that's 7 hours. It's 7 hours of my life I'm never going to get back again.
you got new offense, new head coach. We got all those injuries. You got the lightning strikes. Okay, I heard this on the radio. You think about it, anywhere you play in Florida, there's going to be at any given time, there's going to be a lightning strike.
For real.
Within 8
For real.
miles. So.
Especially in the afternoon time, where, in the daytime heating and all the humidity and all the, all those ingredients get together and, they cause these thunderstorms, and yet they don't have a plan they don't really have a plan to either stop them or, I don't know.
Or why not when you're building a new stadium, why not put a retractable roof? That's like the new thing now.
Yeah. I thought it didn't matter.
Maybe it
If
doesn't.
they had a roof or not.
Maybe it doesn't.
But anyways, yeah, it's 7 hours of my life I'm never going to get back again, and hopefully they'll be better against Texans. So,
I mean, after that game, you're thinking, is the season over yet?
I guess you could just kind of say, well, the only way to go is up from there.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I feel like that game didn't even count.
Right. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's a week 0 game. Let's just count it.
Yeah.
That was the most preseason work we've gotten all, in the last month and a half. So.
Right. And I feel like they just benched Mariota just because he was sucking so bad, and they just used his elbow as an excuse.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Definitely.
But
Also wanted to bring up just a little preview. I didn't even realize that Jamie and Landon were going to be facing off in week 1.
and I didn't realize about that. I didn't realize that either.
But it
until
looked.
I was going through the notes for this podcast, and I was like, "Oh, wait a minute, this is perfect." And
Yeah.
that was totally unintentional too.
Right. Yeah. When we get to the
schedule together,
when we get to
it
those
was totally
matchups,
unintentional.
we'll talk about their matchup there. But also, I just want to give a little public service to everybody else in the group. I feel like you and me and maybe Zach, and surprisingly not Landon, but that we were all pretty consistently talking to one another on Sunday. I mean, I go a little bit overboard. I get a little excited on Sundays, but nobody else was really interacting in the group me, and that was disappointing to me.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Jamie. Let's put it this way: Jamie's MIA. We need to put an APB on Jamie.
He is, unless it's Donald Trump he's talking
nowhere
about.
to be found. Like, he won the Chieftain, and yet we really haven't heard from him since. So,
That's true.
What's
That's
up with
true.
that?
What's up
Make the
with
league
that?
better.
What's up with that? I mean, John's been more active this season.
That's true. John has been way more active. I guess he put the Great Meat app back on the phone.
Right, he figured it out. On the Samsung Galaxy. So,
hey, let's dive into these matchups.
Let's do it. That was my last of the little intro to week 1 topics that I had. So let's get right into it. Who do you got first on your list that you want to talk about?
Let's go with Tony and Sharp.
All right, Tony and Sharp. Let me pull that up.
So Sharp gets a win, 109.5 over Tony's 92.7, and poor Tony. Poor Tony. That's all I
Tony.
gotta say. My biggest takeaway is that Tony's cursed.
Has Tony already decided that he's too invested in fantasy football for this year, and he's going to go ahead and pull back on the reins there?
I think he's already folded up, and he's done for the year.
Yeah,
4 of his players get hurt.
Yeah.
This week. Yeah, I mean, which is pretty remarkable that he scored 92 points despite that.
Yeah, exactly.
One of his players scored 0. That would be Doug Baldwin, but
Fournette goes down early.
Yeah, Fournette goes down early. Aaron Rodgers goes down early. He makes that incredible comeback in the second half.
Right. Zeke has no offensive line to run behind.
Yeah, totally different line now, and especially now that Witten is gone and Des Bryant's gone. I think everybody's kind of focusing on Elliott this year as their weapon, as their only threat.
And he didn't have a terrible show. Like, Zeke didn't have a terrible fantasy show, but like the performance actually on the field was bad. And I don't think that's going to be something they can keep up, over the course of the season.
No, it'll be interesting to see when they play the Giants this week how they kind of attack them. And I know that Fournette went down early, but I mean,
right.
The Giants kind of held them in check.
Yeah, they did really well.
Held Fournette in check and Yeldon as well. But yeah, so the biggest takeaway was that Johnny is cursed. Just because it seems like every year somebody big gets hurt and he's always playing from behind. So
right. Sharp's team looking really good though.
Dude, looking like a snack.
Looking like a snacky snack.
Let's see. He had 6 players in double figures. He had Wilson, Miller, Adams, Gronk, Hyde, and the Jaguars defense. So I mean, he was feeling fairly confident going into the season. Also, he gets the Son of a Bench award.
Oh, we have our first award of the year.
Yeah, first award. He had the most bench points this week at 66.9, which was over half of his overall score. He had Jay Ajayi, Emmanuel Sanders. Both of those basically went off for 20 points, and then Golden Tate, Kenny Galladay, with the Detroit Lions wide receivers. I was probably more of the garbage time since the Jets blew them out.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see if those stats remain that way throughout the whole year, because I just, a lot of garbage time points there.
Yeah, I think Sanders will be consistently up there, but he'll definitely have some hard decisions to make when it comes to his lineup. But a solid week for Sharp. Looking like he might be one of the early front runners for this season. But yeah.
Cool.
Any other takeaways for you?
No, I think you touched it all. I had Rodgers' one leg comeback, the Fournette injury, Zeke's performance. So I think you're all over it there.
Sweet. All right, let's go to Daniel and T-Wall.
Daniel versus T-Tall.
Old T-Tall.
So Stafford immediately. That's what pops out at me.
Oh, gosh.
4 interceptions.
Yeah, he couldn't throw to the right team.
But if he does perform, if Stafford even puts up a mediocre performance, he makes it, a different game. That's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, despite the 4 turnovers, I mean, he had 8 points.
Yeah.
But, so, I mean...
I think it's time to ask the question, though, is David Johnson overrated?
I think it's still too early to see. I definitely don't think David Johnson's overrated. He does stay hurt, though.
Yeah.
And it's kind of, I think it's still too early to see, especially with this new offense.
Mm-hmm.
It's too early to see what is going on with them. So
yeah.
And it could be, Washington's defense just really focused on him and.
Well, and they were playing from behind most of the game anyway. So
yeah. So
Antonio Brown.
I don't think he's overrated, but I mean, it's definitely we might have to be cause for concern.
Yeah.
Because the Cardinals looked god awful. Against the Redskins, but
2 points of interest for me. Not David Johnson. We just talked about him. Antonio Brown and Godwin. Antonio Brown solid, but Godwin, that's a sneaky pick that you read about in the the off season. Like this might be one of those guys that you pick up late that or take a chance on that's going to put up some decent numbers this year.
Yeah, I mean, even T-Wall, he was in the running for the Son of a Bench award. He had 58 points on his bench. So, I mean, obviously, way more, over half of his total points. Obviously, poor showings from Stafford and Kerryon Johnson and Trey Burton, his tight end. That's kind of what held him down. Kenny Stills, obviously Kenny Stills had 2 touchdown passes against the Titans, and he had Godwin and Landry, so going off for 10. So, just didn't have it this week. I mean, 84 points is, it's not too bad, but, obviously you probably would want 10 more points each week. But moving on to Daniel, pretty solid week. Obviously, from his wide receivers, that's where his strength is. Odell, AJ Green, and Julio Jones. If we were playing PPR, they would be monsters because Julio Jones had 10 catches. Odell had 11 catches. And then AJ Green, I think, had 8. 6. He had 6 points. Or 6 catches, rather. And then you had the Vikings defense. So, solid showing from Daniel's team. And he had the right players in his lineup because he only had 31 points on his bench. So. Yeah,
but what concerns me about Daniel's team are the running backs that he's got starting, Freeman and Wilkins. I don't know if that's going to be a consistent, matchup every week for him.
Definitely not. I think he's going to be having going on the merry-go-round with his running backs. He's going to have different running backs every week.
Yeah.
But obviously his wide receivers are going to be mainstays there. He doesn't have to worry about them.
Yeah, Daniel's PPR ready. That's for sure.
Yeah. So, way to go. Way to go, Daniel.
Way to go, Daniel.
Let's go Jamie and Landon.
All right, Jamie and Landon. This is my prime time feature here is Jamie versus Landon.
This is the Donut Country game of the week.
That's right, because the first thing I put on Jamie v. Landon is wow, because it was a wow game for me.
Yes, Landon's team looking like a buzzsaw there.
Yeah, for sure.
With
no quarterback.
No quarterback.
No Le'Veon.
Roethlisberger, I think, turned it over 6 times.
Yeah. No Le'Veon either.
Or 5 times. He had 3 interceptions and 2 fumbles. So yeah, obviously Tyreek Hill stands out with 35 points. That's over half of Jamie's team, who scored 65 points. So we have two awards each for both of these teams. Landon gets the here. Let me look here. He gets 2 awards. He gets the beatdown award for the most points scored, and then he also gets the bully award for the biggest margin of victory. And then Jamie gets the bitch award for showing the lowest, or for having the biggest loss margin. And then he also gets the I forget what the award is called for lowest points.
Jamie's gonna love having the bitch award. That's for sure.
Yeah, yeah. he would argue that Daniel gets the bitch award.
Right.
That's not true in this case. But
speaking of bitches though, Jimmy G, big time bitch on Sunday.
Dude, what happened there?
It's the porn star life. He's been dating too many porn stars apparently.
Better too many, or well, it's like double his age.
Right.
Three picks for Jimmy G and 1 touchdown. So not a good showing from him. I mean, Jamie's team is just kind of, I don't know. It's not very good.
It's a grade F performance,
right now,
on the draft.
It is a great. He is staying true to his team name, that's for sure. So hopefully his running backs will show up a little bit more. Hunt, McCaffrey. I know Hunt pretty much took a back seat to Landon's Tyreek Hill.
Right. Yeah.
But Chris McCaffrey, I think, should be better, especially now that Olsen's hurt. Sorry, Luder.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll get to that in a minute. But,
we will. Waiver wire fails.
But yeah, so obviously when we mentioned earlier that Jimmy played Landon, obviously the Gurley and McCaffrey trade obviously was at the forefront, and Gurley outscored McCaffrey by 13 points. I mean, that wouldn't have mattered anyway.
It's going to pay off long term.
It will pay off long term. Since Landon won 122 to 65, so.
Because Gurley doesn't catch passes. He's specifically just a runner. That's right?
Yes.
I mean Gurley.
20 carries for 100 yards.
But Gurley can catch balls out of the backfield. He will be solid PPR player even if McCaffrey catches 5 more balls a season.
Yes, that's true. In this game specifically, Gurley only had 3 catches for 39 yards.
Right.
But he did have a touchdown, though. Landon's team looking really good, even without Le'Veon Bell. Le'Veon Bell still a no-show. So
he might end up sitting the whole season out. I mean, it doesn't even sound like the team wants him there.
I know it. I mean, he's got to report to the team by week 11 so that he can be a free agent. So I'm not quite sure what they're going to do. So, all right. So let's get to Luke and Zach.
Luke and Z Money. All right. So this is the nail biter of the week, right?
Yeah. And then honestly, shouldn't even come to this if Luke didn't. If Luke didn't even start a defense, he would have gotten 9 more points.
Literally any other defense, he would have won the game. I have that note here because the Saints ended up being 32nd for that week.
Yes, literally other defense, he would have won the game.
And I want to say he picked he traded out the defense. Like, I don't know if he said that like the night before or something.
He ended up, I think he had the Eagles defense, and he ended up dropping them for the Saints defense, to go up against the Buccaneers and Fitzmagic, in which, I can agree with that.
Yeah, I understand the pick.
I considered it myself, just because Fitzmagic is normally Fitzpatrick.
Right.
He ended up getting they're all into the deal on that one. Yeah, it sucks because Luke's team did well otherwise. So other than Shady going with the 2.1 performance, but other than that, his other team members did really, really well. Greg the Leg almost pulled it out for him in the late game.
Mm-hmm.
And almost had a Monday Night Miracle.
Well, I mean, heck, did he have Crowell on the bench? Was that right? Or did he have...
He did have Crowell on the bench. Yeah. 22 points there.
Which, I mean, you can't blame him for having him on the bench. You're not expecting him,
That's true.
You're expecting them to stack up on the run.
Yeah, and I just realized that Zerline missed a field goal because they were kicking on the dirt at the time. They were kicking on the dirt.
Oh, yeah.
Where the Oakland A's also play, too, and he ended up missing that field goal. So, really, adding insult to injury there, he really should have won this game despite having a -9 from his defense.
Right, yeah. So, three questions about Zach's team. First one I'll ask you is Watson a stable quarterback for fantasy football this year?
Ooh, I don't know. I mean, if he doesn't perform well against the Titans, then I don't know who they got in Week 3, but they got the Giants Week 3. I mean, if he doesn't do well after those 3 games, I mean, I think you got to start. You might have to start looking for another one.
Yeah.
Another QB, just because teams have kind of figured it out, or even really, is Watson trusting his knee?
Mm-hmm. Well, you also got to think he was playing against the Patriots, so there's also that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see how he plays against the Titans because last year he had a field day with us. So.
Yeah, I feel like, or I've been hearing on the radio, obviously, because the Titans are playing the Texans, that their offensive line is not very good.
That could be the issue.
That could have been an issue.
Well, we need all the help we can get on our defensive line. So.
That's true. Yeah, if the Titans don't have a pass rush this week, then we're in trouble.
Yeah. Cool. Last question here about Zach's team. No, not last question. I have 2. Jimmy Graham.
Didn't you have 3?
Yeah, Jimmy Graham. What happened to that dude?
Yeah, he's no longer the Jimmy Graham of old.
Do you think it was Well, you can't. And here's the issue I'm having. I almost was gonna say, do you think it was an issue of not having Drew Brees anymore? But you're going from Drew Brees to Aaron Rodgers, so it shouldn't be. That shouldn't have anything to do with it.
Yeah, it's really weird. I think it could be the system, or with the Saints, just because they had a lot more firepower.
That's true. Yeah.
I mean, the Packers do have firepower with Adams and
Randall Cobb.
And obviously Aaron Rodgers and Jamal Williams is an okay running back, but I just don't think Jimmy Graham he's just not that good anymore.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
He got that money and now he's just like, okay, I'm just gonna be mediocre.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
All right, last thing about Zach, he has 0 bench, like no bench at all. No points, no production coming from the bench is what I noticed.
Yeah.
That's not really a question. It's just a statement, and wanted to get your thoughts on that.
Yeah, he only has 28 points on his bench, so 17 of those points came from Dion Lewis. So,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, if one of Zach's starters gets hurt, he might be in trouble. I mean, I feel like part of that reason is because he's got 3 rookie. I guess not. Well, one of them's not a rookie. He got hurt last year, but DJ Moore, Calvin Ridley, and Mike Williams, they're all rookie wide receivers.
Right.
So.
Okay.
Yeah. Zach could be in trouble if he gets hurt.
He'll pull out some crazy trades, prepare for next year. So.
Yeah, he does make some crazy trades. That's for sure.
So, all right. So
let's talk about our matchup.
all right, Eddie versus Luder here. I just gotta say, watch out for Eddie. Your team is looking pretty good. Barkley, and did someone say Kamara? That's a deadly combination.
Don't touch my Kamara.
That's right.
Dude, I'm trying not to get really excited about my team. Let me just say that. Just because, fantasy is just one of those things. It's like, I mean, you can do all the right things, but, sometimes it just doesn't go your way.
Yeah, but I see you as a solid top 4 pick there so far after just week 1. So week 1 overreactions, I got you in the top 4. So.
Yes. So, I mean, Kamara, thanks again, T-Wall, for just giving away Kamara, I guess.
Right.
Golly.
Yeah.
I just didn't, man. It just feels good to have a guy like that on your team.
It does. You feel safe.
I've never really had a guy on my team like that, but man, it feels good to have a guy like that on your team. Obviously, all my running backs just went off. I mean, Dalvin, he only had 7 points, but he had a lost fumble, but he did okay. I think they were just kind of monitoring what they were doing with him with his ACL, and then, I got James Conner sitting on the bench.
Yeah.
With Le'Veon sitting out, and so here I am with 4 top 10 running backs. I can only start 3.
Sitting on that trade block.
So, yeah, I got Conner on the trade block. So if you're looking for a top 10 running back here, I'm dangling them out there.
I feel like Daniel's going to be reaching out to you pretty shortly.
Yeah, I will have to say we've been in some talks, but
there's been some GM talks, huh?
There's been some talks. Nothing definitive sources say. So
right.
Maybe something will come out.
Not texting Schefter yet.
And no. Mortensen and Schefter aren't hot on the trail just yet, but. Obviously, had a real good day with the running backs. Brady with a solid performance.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing I'm worried about my team is just my wide receivers. There's just some slaw.
Yeah.
My best wide receiver is a wide receiver too. Logan's wide receiver too. So.
Yeah, Corey Davis. You hope he's going to be good. Just for not only being a Titans fan, but for your fantasy team. Right. He looked pretty solid. I'm not going to lie. He looked pretty solid.
Yeah, he had 13 targets, so obviously they were looking for him for the Dolphins game. But now, with Delaney being out, obviously that's going to put it's going to put an even bigger emphasis on him. Mm-hmm. So I'm just hoping that his hamstrings stay healthy and, he is able to rise up to the occasion.
Right.
So obviously Delaney Walker went down with a broken ankle, and we'll get to my tight end. My tight end shopping here in a minute. But,
absolutely.
So I feel good about my team, but I'm trying not to get too excited about them.
I gotcha. Playing it easy there. Playing it safe. So some notes about my team.
Let me hear your thoughts on your team.
Yeah, some notes here about my team that I got. Derrick Henry, clearly a solid first-round pick. He's going to be a bruiser all season. I can feel it. But, no, he did not play very well. I feel like it was just a style. I would have had probably, 13 points with him if he gets that touchdown.
Yeah, just on that one play alone, that was...
It was a 65-yarder plus a touchdown.
So, he would have had 15 points.
Yeah. So that's on a bullcrap Delaney hold. Yeah. I got to say my woes continue this season, or just in my fantasy career. Going to have to make some big moves probably later in this year if it keeps going down this path. If I don't have just some studs that just show up, I'm going to have to start. I gotta make trades to get keepers, to get solid keepers. Because that's been my problem. And then I also have here Collins. Right now he's got 5.4 points for me at halftime.
Yeah.
but I have Peterson starting and his backup, or I don't know if they're just rotating, Thompson from the Redskins. I have them both starting this week just because I feel like one of them might get some benefit. So I'm just taking a chance on that because really looking at my bench, the only other choice for me is James White or Goodwin from San Francisco. So a lot of unknowns for my team. Exactly. So a lot of unknowns this year for me. I'm hoping I have one of those no Sean Moreno like seasons where maybe Thompson or Goodwin just comes out of nowhere.
Yeah, so. That was pretty. I forgot about that no Sean Moreno pickup a few years ago. That was pretty crazy. Yeah, and you're just kind of waiting for Edelman to come back.
Yeah, that too.
Games left, but.
And Will Fuller to get healthy if him and Deshaun can get together. So.
But yeah, so and obviously Olsen went down. You had a few players that went down with injury. I think Collins got either got benched for a little bit, or he actually did get hurt.
No, what?
Olsen and Goodwin.
So he got I think it's the same situation as Marcus. He got a little dinged up, but then he fumbled as well. So he got that.
Gotcha.
He had the fumble, and then they were up, 40-something points. So they were just like, we're not going to put him back in. So let's quickly look at these. Let's talk about the waiver and make our picks for week 2 matchups.
So this is what happened here with the tight end. So of course, I'm Daniel calls me earlier in the week, and he's all about getting George Kittle, and he's like, I'm gonna bid, and of course I'm just like, I don't know, what am I gonna do? Because I know he's gonna bid, and he's gonna try to block me because he knows I need a tight end. But then I'm thinking, well, he doesn't need a tight end. He's just grabbing somebody just because. So is he really gonna do this or not? And so I bid what I bid. I knew that I would get him. And also, too, a part of this was like, I didn't know what you guys were going to do, like the rest of the league, because this is the first time that we had done this.
Right.
And I didn't know if you guys were just going to go way over the top, or if y'all would just go conservatively and like not want to try to bid anything. Obviously, the latter happened a little bit. Some people did spend some money on some players, but for the most part, it was pretty tame. Nobody put in like $25 like I did. And also too, I say this now, and of course, it'll probably come to bite me later in the season. I really don't plan on making a lot of waiver claims this season, but so that's why I spent what I spent. And then I put in the $15 for Doyle just because I knew you were going to try to get tight end too. So
right.
I just try to outbid you as well. So
yeah.
And I knew Doyle wasn't going to be somebody that was highly coveted as Kittle. And then obviously I see, the next morning I see Daniel didn't even bid on Kittle. Only Luke did.
He was playing the game,
for $2.
huh?
So he's living in my head rent free for sure. And so when all was said and done, I could have had both tight ends for $6.
Right.
So.
Well, I think we're all a little worried because as far as bidding low, because we all gave Tony so much junk about
right. Yeah.
Throwing out a lot of money. So.
Yeah, for somebody that nobody bid on.
Right.
But yeah. So,
but that was fun. I like that. I like that part of the league now.
Yeah. I think obviously with the FAB waivers that may ease us into an auction draft. However, I don't know if this league is ready for an auction draft, if ever. But,
yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
But I think because auction drafts take forever. So we're already spending almost 4 hours on the snake draft. So for me, that's kind of plenty.
Yeah.
But with the time that we get beforehand. But yeah. So good job, everybody.
Yeah.
You didn't overspend. Yeah, you didn't. Although I did like Landon's idea of. He kind of offered up a trophy idea a little bit, and it was like a buyer's remorse type one, where I think it might have to be a trophy where we get like somebody spends maybe like over $10 and nobody else bid on this player.
Yeah, yeah, I get that.
But yeah, I don't know. Maybe we can do something like that.
Yeah, that'll be cool. I think anything we can do to change up, a little bit here and there each year to make it, just more interesting, more fun.
Yes.
I'm all for it. So let's put it to a vote, though.
Yeah, yeah, let's put it to a vote, I suppose. Whatever that means.
Right.
If everybody votes.
Yeah, exactly. So, all right. So quickly, let's go through our week 2 matchups and just make a pick on those.
Yeah. So obviously we have a little bit of a the game is going on, it's already halftime, but some of these games, or at least one of these games, may be decided. Who knows? But so we'll just start with T-Tall and me. I'm playing T-Tall.
Okay.
T-Wall's got the Ravens defense going right now. Obviously, Andy Dalton, the red rifle, he's torching them.
Yeah, he is.
So he's got they only got 1 point right now, but I think this matchup is going to be a lot closer than what the totals are projecting. Like right now, I'm projected at 105, and he's projected at 86. I think it'll be a lot closer than that. Just because I sometimes play down the competition after a big week, so or normally I do that.
Yeah.
But who knows?
Right.
Like I said, I'm trying not to get too excited about my team, but obviously I got good matchups with my running backs. Kamara against the Browns, Connor against the Chiefs, and then Barkley against the Cowboys, and I'm just wondering how Tom Brady is going to be against Jalen Ramsey and the Jaguars. So it'll be fun. It'll be fun to watch that game.
Went with Houston's defense there. That's a fan no there.
I know. I'd rather. I don't know. Who knows? I'd rather than.
You're definitely a 30% fan right now.
Yeah, I am definitely 30% right now. It's just because I didn't want to get any. I don't want to drop anybody to.
Yeah.
Get a different defense. So, but yeah, T-Wall's team. Obviously looking out for David Johnson and Antonio Brown. Phillip Rivers might have a huge day with against Buffalo.
That's true. Yeah.
Phillip Rivers, he's kind of a sneaky quarterback that doesn't really get enough credit, I feel like. Because I had him 1 year. I mean, I got him late 1 year.
Yeah,
I hated it.
He's pretty consistent.
Yeah, I hated that pick. Then he ended up being, I think he was the top 3 quarterback that year. So, it's kind of weird that way. But yeah, so, I mean, I'm just going to go ahead and pick myself just because, why go against myself.
Right.
I do think it's going to be a lot closer than what I
You like that?
projected.
You like that self-love, You got to give that self-love.
Right.
All right, so
Who you got?
let's go me and the Luke Sadler, no pun intended. He's got me by about 12 points on the projection. I don't know. He's got a pretty solid look this week, at least going in what he's got listed right now. Cam Newton playing against Atlanta. You never know what you're going to get out of Atlanta-Carolina games. So I think it's going to – I feel good about Breeze. throwing the ball around. Like I said, my Washington running backs, that's just going to be tough to watch, just to see who comes out or if they both can get at least in the end zone once. And then Amari Cooper, is he going to be a steady disappointment as he is, most every year? So, yeah, I'm just kind of waiting and seeing. I think it'll be close if my team can perform, but maybe we'll see another Zach-Luke matchup this week. It's kind of looking that way right now, especially if, LaShawn, who's shady, McCoy can't, get it going this week. So, but I am picking Luke to win this game until my streak kind of ends. So.
Yeah, definitely like the matchup with Cam Newton and the Falcons. Falcons lose to the people on defense.
Mm-hmm.
Keanu Neal and Dion Lewis, or not Dion Lewis, Dion somebody, but and then Keenan Allen. I mean, that guy is a beast.
If he can, but he's got to stay injury free as well. So that's going to be the issue.
True.
There. So
that's true. But I will also pick Luke on this one.
Gotcha. Thanks, Ed.
You're welcome.
Let's go with RG Tree versus the Great Fs.
Yeah, projection total. They don't have anybody going in the Thursday night game, so projection total is 102 versus 80 to Jamie's 86. It's just kind of we're gonna have to see what is Rodgers gonna play? Is Fournette gonna play?
I got.
Is even Burkhead gonna play? He's on the concussion protocol.
Right. I've got I got Jamie upset on this one.
Wow.
Yeah, okay. I think Kareem has a much better game this week. I think Luck has found his groove, but it depends on Washington's defense. But I think he's finally gotten back to where he's supposed to be. And then expecting a good game here from Cooper Kupp against Arizona. So along with his other players, I think they'll. I do see though he's.
Will have a big game.
Yeah, I think that'll be a good one, and my only concern with Jamie is the double tight end move. So.
Oh yeah, you're right there.
He's got Kelsey and Cook. Yeah.
Could be a bust, or could be Jamie does these unconventional things. They're like, what in the world are you doing? And they end up working out. Yeah,
and he goes out. He just wins, baby.
He just wins. It's just I don't know. I don't know what it is about Jamie. I don't know I don't know how he does that, but yeah. So yeah, somebody's gonna get their first win this week. So I think I'm gonna choose Tony, but a very slight edge though.
Gotcha.
Slight edge, just because of Tony's injuries. I mean, if everybody plays, then I definitely think Tony wins. But if Rodgers is out, if Fournette's out, then it's going to be really close, and I think Tony squeaks it out.
Okay. Sax Baker versus Trade Bait. Who you got? This one's kind of an easy answer right now.
Daniel's favor that AJ Green has had 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Already. For 4, he's had 3 catches for 43 yards and 3 touchdowns. Gotta like that ratio there.
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta think that Daniel's gonna pull this one out, but you never know. Depending on whatever everybody else does. I mean, obviously you expect Julio and Odell to get theirs, but you just got to wonder, is his running backs going to provide the necessary points, especially to the buzzsaw that we saw from Landon last week. So,
right. Yeah, I like Landon's team. I don't think he has the same performance this week. It's going to be that week 2 letdown, and I'm going with Daniel on this week. Especially after, it's an easier call now that AJ Green's got 22 points. So at halftime.
I think I put down Landon just because Daniel doesn't like me predicting his team to win, so I'm going with Landon.
Gotcha. Okay, and then is this the last one here?
Yeah, we got Sharp and Zach.
Sharp and Zach. Yeah. I'm going to go. This is going to be a close one as far as projections go. If Mixon can get a touchdown here in this second half, it might help Zach boost his team to a victory. But I just like Sharp's team this year. I'm going to go with Sharp.
Gonna go with Sharp. I'm going Zach.
Okay. Interesting.
I'm going Zach. I think Deion Lewis is going to carry him this week.
Okay, well, I hope that you're right about that. I will gladly be wrong this week about Zach's team as long as Deion Lewis goes off, but that he's getting players off left and right.
Yeah. Nook. He's hurt with his foot, but I think Zach gets it done this week. It'll be. I think this one will be the discount tire game of the week.
Discount tire game.
It'll be a barn
The David Deaton Karate Studios game of first down or whatever they do.
Yes. Kroger sacks for cash.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's everybody that we have for week 2. It looks like it's going to be a really good week already. So thank you guys for joining the week 1 wrap-up podcast. Sorry it was a little late. And, but we'll try and get it done every week.
People will listen.
Yes, definitely. And watch because it'll be on YouTube. But just for you guys. So any final words here, Eddie?
No, I'm good to good.
Eddie's good to good. All right. Well, thank you guys again for watching, and we'll see you in the group me as long as you talk to us. So.